Hi, I'm Bella, and I want to tell you about the moment I threw my dry shampoo in the trash. Not because someone told me to, not because I read a scary article, because I stood in front of my mirror on a Tuesday morning, looked at my hair, and realized that despite using dry shampoo every single day, my hair had never looked worse. Dull, flat, itchy scalp. A gray-white cast at the roots that no amount of brushing would fix. I had been using a product marketed as a shortcut to fresh Salon quality hair, and it had been quietly doing the opposite for months. So I ran an experiment. I ditched the dry shampoo completely and replaced it with a specific 72-hour routine built on what dermatologists and trichologists actually recommend for scalp health. No aerosol cans, no starch buildup, no masking what was really happening on my scalp. And by hour 72, by day 3, my hair looked and felt cleaner, lighter, and more alive than it had in months. I am going to walk you through exactly what I did, step by step. Before we get into the routine, stay with me. You need to understand what dry shampoo is actually doing to your scalp, because the marketing around this product is one of the most successful misdirections in modern hair care. Dry shampoo works by absorbing excess oil from the scalp and hair shaft, giving the illusion of clean hair. But unlike traditional shampoo, it does not remove dirt, sweat, product buildup, or environmental pollutants. It sits on the surface, trapping everything underneath it. Every time you spray it and do not follow with a proper wash, you are adding another layer of starch, alcohol, and residue on top of oil, dead skin cells, and bacteria that are already accumulating on your scalp. Clinical observations show a rise in patients presenting with flaky, itchy scalps and unexplained hair shedding, all linked to habitual dry shampoo use, with follicle blockage from powder residues being one of the most commonly reported long-term issues. An accumulation of styling products can make your scalp itch, and it is possible the buildup could also lead to folliculitis, a bacterial or fungal infection in the hair follicle. That is not a scare tactic. That is what happens when you repeatedly layer an absorbent powder onto a living, breathing scalp environment and never fully clear it. Dry shampoos often contain fragrances, preservatives, and surfactants that can cause allergic reactions, including contact dermatitis. There has also been concern raised over the presence of benzene, a carcinogen, in spray dry shampoos, leading to a voluntary FDA recall on several products. This is the part the brands advertising second-day hair do not mention. The shortcut is not free. It is costing your scalp health every time you reach for the can instead of washing your hair. The first day of this routine is the hardest, and I want to be honest with you about that. If you have been using dry shampoo daily, your scalp has likely been producing excess oil in response to the repeated stripping and coating cycle. Day 1 is about breaking that cycle properly, not just replacing one product with another. Start with a clarifying or deep clean shampoo focused on the scalp, not the lengths. Massage with fingertips for 60 to 90 seconds, then rinse thoroughly. This step removes styling polymers, dry shampoo residue, and excess oil. Follow with a second wash using a gentle fragrance-light shampoo to reduce irritation and leave the scalp comfortable. This double cleanse is not excessive. It is necessary when there is weeks of dry shampoo residue sitting on the follicles. Conditioner should go from mid-length to ends only. Applying it to the scalp often worsens lymph roots and can trap residue. After washing, rinse with cool water. As we covered in a previous video, very hot water can disrupt the scalp's natural oils and leave hair feeling drier, and a scalp that is stripped by hot water is a scalp that will overproduce oil faster, sending you back to the dry shampoo sooner than you need to be. Cool water closes the cuticle, seals in the moisture from your conditioner, and gives the scalp a calmer environment to start rebalancing. Dry with a microfiber towel using a pressing and scrunching motion, never rubbing. Then, if you need to style, apply heat protectant to the lengths only and use the lowest heat setting that gets the job done. The 72-hour reset day. Day 2 is where most people would normally reach for the dry shampoo. The scalp has produced some oil overnight, roots may feel slightly heavy, and the instinct is to spray and go. This is the moment the routine diverges beer, and it is where the real reset begins. On day 2, leave your roots alone. Brush with a soft bristle brush to spread natural oils from the scalp down through the lengths, stimulate the scalp, and resist the urge to overload on dry shampoo. A boar bristle brush is ideal for this because the natural bristles grip and redistribute sebum along the hair shaft, which is exactly where it belongs. Sebum is not your enemy. It is your hair's built-in conditioner. The problem with dry shampoo is that it traps sebum at the scalp, rather than allowing it to move down the shaft where it moisturizes and protects the hair fiber. If you want a light refresh without washing, a no-rinse scalp treatment that dissolves buildup, neutralizes odor, and calms the scalp without leaving residue is one of the most effective alternatives. For styling, this is an excellent day to use your hair's natural texture rather than fighting it. The 72-hour reset day 3. This is the day that changed everything for me. By hour 72, something measurable had shifted. The scalp had stopped the frantic oil overproduction that dry shampoo dependency creates. The hair had natural movement and weight distribution, rather than the flat-coated texture that weeks of starch buildup produces. And the roots, which I expected to look oily and unmanageable, were soft, light, and had a natural shine that no dry shampoo had ever given me. The most common hair myth dermatologists encounter in clinic is the idea that washing your hair less often will train your scalp to produce less oil. Sebum production is regulated by androgens and the activity of sebaceous glands. It is not trained, conditioned, or meaningfully altered by how often you shampoo. What the 72-hour reset does is different from scalp training. It is not about producing less oil. It is about removing the artificial cycle that dry shampoo creates, stripping with alcohol and starch, triggering a compensatory oil surge, masking the surge with more dry shampoo, and repeating indefinitely. Breaking that cycle for 72 hours allows the scalp to simply behave normally, without the interference of a product designed to create dependency. Many people notice less itching, softer texture, fuller volume, and longer-lasting color after just one strategic reset like this. Once your scalp is used to the change, you might find you can go longer between washes in your regular routine. Day 3 is when you wash again, this time with just one round of gentle shampoo, because the scalp has not had 3 days of dry shampoo buildup to clear. The difference in how your hair feels coming out of that wash compared to a wash after days of dry shampoo use is immediate and significant. A healthy hair reset is not dramatic or high maintenance. The goal is consistency, not punishment. Regular washing, every 1 to 3 days for most scalp types, removes the buildup that compromises the follicle environment. The key is choosing a gentle, well-formulated shampoo that cleanses thoroughly without stripping the barrier. If your scalp feels tight or irritated after washing, the issue is your formula, not your frequency. The shortcut was never the dry shampoo. The shortcut is a gentle shampoo used consistently, a microfiber towel, cool water, and a boar bristle brush on the days between. 3 products, most of which you already own. 0 aerosol cans required. The dry shampoo industry has built a multi-billion-dollar category on one idea: that your scalp is a problem to be managed with a spray can rather than a system to be understood and supported. The reality is that your scalp is a living environment with its own microbiome, its own oil regulation system, and its own responses to what you put on it. Every time you mask that environment with starch and alcohol instead of actually cleansing it, you are making the underlying problem worse while appearing to solve it on the surface. Hours. 1 clarifying wash, a boar bristle brush, cool water rinses, a light aloe mist on day 2, a gentle second wash on day 3. That is the entire routine. No expensive product, no complicated system, no aerosol can with a carcinogen warning. Just your scalp, given 3 days to behave the way it was designed to. If this routine changed the way you think about your between-wash days, hit the like button and subscribe to The Beauty Trap. Next week, I am going inside the 5 most overhyped hair ingredients brands are charging the most for right now. and what the science actually says about each of them. Drop a comment below how many days a week are you reaching for the dry shampoo. I want to know. I'm Bella. I'll see you in the next one.